Hello everybody, welcome back to Freddy Cooks International. We're here with another mukbang. Today we're having juicy pork belly rice and some miniature cucumbers with a little num jam sauce. It's a spicy dipping sauce. Actually, this is Thai chili pork belly that I made. Before we get into the video, I still have clips in my head because I actually did a quarantine hairstyle. And so let me just take these out. Let me get you a little bit closer here so I can actually see myself. I decided since I am, there's no need of me trying to have an excuse not to cut my own hair, because I can cut my own hair and do my own hair. So I actually did that today and it came out quite nicely. As you know, I have many gifts and talents. Well, maybe you don't know, but now you do because I just told you. Ha! Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the video today. Let me push you back just a little bit so you can see the food. Thank you so much, Lord, for this food that I'm about to receive. Let it nourish and strengthen my body for Christ's sakes. I thank you for provision, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so let's get started. Let me eat. I have a lot of talking to do today. Not really a lot of talking, but I am going to have quite a bit of conversation for you today. Today I'm also drinking. Make sure I tip that over. May not be able to get it up here. Yeah. So today I am drinking lemonade. There's some fruit in here. I have lime. I've got some raspberry and I have blackberry in here as well. And I'm going to be using my blackberry lemonade. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to do a little talking today and share some things with you. I'll share some things about myself, about this channel, which will be changing. Ooh, that went everywhere. I'll mess up anything. Hope you are doing well out there. Today is Sunday. I'm not sure when you actually see this. I have several other mukbangs to release before this. I say before this one. I don't know when I'm going to release this one. But today is Sunday. Let me see how I want to do this. Ooh, that's juicy. Look at that. Nice and tender and juicy. I really want to use my hand. I think I'm going to ditch my fork. This sauce is extremely spicy. You can see how it's made. It's one of the first videos that I've made, maybe the second video that I've made on my entire channel. If you're interested. It's really a seafood dipping sauce, but it's good with everything, really. So I made my pork belly with a sweet sauce to counteract this spiciness here. Mm. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's super spicy. Mm. Mm. I'm going to eat a little bit, and then we'll get into today's conversation. Oh. How many of you out there like pork belly? Sounds gross, maybe. I don't know if it sounds gross. It does kind of sound gross. I'm sorry. But it's so juicy. So good because of the fat that's on it. It's just, oh my gosh, really good. I'm really glad, like how my hair turned out. I think I've decided to go ahead and lock it. And the look that I'm going for eventually would be, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but from Black Panther. So when it grows out, that is what, something similar to that. So I'm gonna let it lock, I think. I've had locks for some years. Really, I've always kept long hair. This is as short as my hair has been. Well, in the last 4 years, I had it short, relatively short, but this is short for me. Although, if you really want to know how long it really is longer than it looks. But I've always had relatively long hair. Anyways. I guess you might know by now that I do quite a few things, have quite a few talents, quite a few gifts, things that I do well. Quite a few talents. A few of you know that I sing. And I started off playing the piano. I still can play the piano. But I started playing the piano before I started singing, actually. It was 3rd grade. I started taking piano lessons. And I started doing really well. Then I started playing for the Sunday school at church when I was like 12 years old. And then by the time I was like 14, I started playing a little bit for the choir, for the church choir. And that next year, like about 15, maybe, yeah, 15, 16, I was the full-time director, musician at my church. I taught songs, played the piano for them, directed them, all before I even graduated high school. I did take piano lessons. I wasn't taking singing lessons at that time. But it's something that really just came natural to me. Like teaching parts, arranging parts. I even put together a church workshop to invite other church choirs in to do like a workshop. It was a workshop. Basically, community choirs come together and I teach songs and we all sing together. Like we have a 3-night rehearsal. It was 3 or 4 nights. And the last night we would have, on the 4th night, it was 3 nights. And then on the 4th night, we had a concert to share what we've learned and been working on together. I was 17 there because that was my last year before I went to college. So, teaching is a gift. I just naturally have an understanding of how to teach. As a matter of fact, the gift of understanding is a gift of mine. I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody right now, and that's how my channel is actually changing. I said that's what I was going to talk about, so I'm just talking about it as it comes. I don't know what that's going to look like in the end, but I know it's having to change just because of the commission that I have to share with you guys a lot of important things. Perhaps I might lose some people. I don't want to lose anybody, but I have to talk about some things that everybody may not be okay with, and I'm okay with that as well. Because I can't please man. Can't please everybody. Anyone out there ought to know by now, or should know. Well, I can't say that because I have a following of a wide group, a wide age group. But let me just say this: you can't please everybody all the time. That's even a saying. You can't please everybody all of the time. And a lot of times where we go wrong, or where we go astray, or go, off of the plan, or off of the things that we should be doing, is because we try to please too many people. And you can't please everybody. Or we get off track from what we should be doing, chasing money and fame. Now, don't get me wrong. I started this YouTube channel because I thought it was something that I could do many other people have gained success and made a lot of money from YouTube. And I'm thinking, I can do that. Full time. I'd rather do YouTube than work a full-time job. And so, yeah, why not? At the same time, God has given me a work to do. And if I try to please men, rather than doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing, then I'm not going to be living my purpose. And everybody has a purpose. It's just up to us to figure out what that is. I've been fortunate enough to know what my purpose is. And it's using the gifts that God has given me to help other people. I started on this channel talking about, well, not started, but I have talked about on this channel before, once or twice, self-awareness. And how even scientists has done research that only 10 to 15% of the entire world's population are self-aware. And the other 80%, or 80%, which would be the other portion, thinks they are self-aware but are not. Now, bringing this up for a reason is because self-awareness is a big part of self-improvement or confession. To know when you are in the wrong, to know when you have offended somebody, or just to understand your own feelings. There's also interpersonal awareness, where you understand the feelings of others. Very hard, very difficult to understand the feelings of others if you don't really understand your own feelings. What I'm talking about is, can you tell when other people are getting upset? Can you tell when other people are happy, sad? Can you tell when they're mad, when they're getting angry? Can you tell when people are lying to you? That's discernment, but follow me here. Can you tell when you're getting upset? And what does your body, how does your body respond when you're getting upset or when you're getting jealous? Jealousy is a real thing. People get jealous and people get offended. So how do you react when you begin to get jealous? Or you're a jealous person? Can you do you understand your own emotions and how it makes you react? For instance, are you prideful? Can you tell when you begin to get prideful? How does it show up? That's self-awareness. Really important, because without it, without self-awareness, you're just basically asleep. Literally, and it can keep you asleep because it can prevent you from learning about yourself, learning about others. It can keep you from improving yourself. And really talking about this because I'm transitioning to share really about knowing the truth. You have to be self-aware. You have to really want to know the truth about yourself, and you have to accept the truth about yourself. And so getting into that, this is how my channel is changing. I'm going to be sharing more about things that I've been given understanding about, which is a gift. Spiritual understanding about a lot of things. And to whom much is given, much is required. So if I would not be sharing a lot of the things that I know and have come to understand, it would be doing a disservice to other people. So, like I said, my channel is changing. I will be having more serious conversations. I don't know if it's going to be every single time I have a mukbang or just once a week, or I don't know what that looks like right now. But I know that it must happen because of a lot of the things that are taking place. Even things like the coronavirus. Nobody really would want to hear that there is going to be a worldwide pandemic that's going to kill a lot of people. That's not something that you want to hear. And so for a lot of people who would become fearful of things like that, would reject somebody saying that this is going to happen before it happened. So for instance, 2 years ago, if I had come to you and said there's going to be a worldwide pandemic, there's going to be a lot of deaths, and then people are not going to be prepared. I'm letting you know so that you can be prepared and you can go ahead and stock up so you don't have to be in the store without tissue. You know, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. I'm just laughing at how much of a chaos that was. You don't want to hear things like that, but it's better to be prepared so that when things happen, you're not scared and you are aware and you know how to react. I hope you're following me because I'm kind of all over the place. But if you close your ear to that, then that's the person who is going to be unprepared. And so when it comes to preparation, I have some things I need to share with you so that you, whoever you are, whether it's, I think I have 154 subscribers right now, whether it goes back down to 15, I don't know what that looks like. And so I am prepared to lose some subscribers because this is, I am a very truthful person. I'm a very loving person. But because I'm very caring and loving, there is a part of that to where, have you heard of tough love? To where you don't want to have to do something, or you don't want to have to say some things because it may hurt some people's feeling, or people may not, think you're coming off as loving, but in the end, it's for your own good. So just letting you know, my channel will be changing. I will be sharing spiritual things, which people don't like to talk about. People don't like to talk about, like even Corey. You don't even want to say it. Because it's taboo. But that's why many people are asleep. That's why many people are not self-aware. That's why you find many people who are really needing, like marriages and couples who are really needing counsel, is because people cannot even decipher their own feelings or emotions. People shut down or retaliate. So you can't communicate if you have both people combating each other and not willing to hear what the other person is saying. So you need a mediator. But you wouldn't need a mediator if you could really hear the other person and recognize that this person may be just trying to share their feelings. But if you're not self-aware to realize that you're saying something intentionally to hurt somebody else, then you're going to continue to intentionally say things to hurt somebody else, and you're not going to be able to get on one accord. At the same time, if somebody is telling me the truth about myself, but because I'm so prideful and I don't want to hear the truth, then I'm going to close my ears to what they're telling me and not going to be able to get any resolution from that. So, all in all, I'm saying keep an open, if you will, if you stay with me, I ask that you keep an open mind, open ears, open eyes. Because I'm not a mischievous person, and I would never do or say anything to anyone intentionally to lead people astray. I can't make anyone believe anything. That's not my intention. I can't do that. But I do want to make you think about some things. I need you to think about some things, because we don't spend enough time thinking, especially when we are alone. There's a lot of people who can't even be alone. Some people are going crazy now because they're quarantined. People can't even stand to hear themselves think. But we need to think beyond things that we think about every day, or the average thing that most people think about every day. We need to think beyond just the common things. Whether you believe or not, there is a spiritual world. There is. And when I say spiritual, I'm just really saying eternal. There are things that we can see and touch right now. That's the things that most people would say it's real to them, because I can see it, I can touch it, so it's tangible, it's real. And a lot of people just can't see beyond that. But there is a spiritual. And the things that are spiritual are eternal. That things that cannot be burned up. Things that cannot tarnish. Things that cannot be destroyed by natural means, I should say. So let me give you an example. Of course, this plate is tangible, it's temporary, it's temporal. I believe that there's a plate here because I can see it. But it can also be destroyed. I could take this plate and destroy it if I want to. Now, let me give you a perfect example of something that everyone wants, and for some reason, few people really find. And I say few relative to how many people there are. And that's love. Many could argue that you can't see love. I mean, where is love? If I look around, if you look around your room, if you're by yourself, where is love? Where can you touch it? Can you feel it? Well, you can, but it doesn't look like this plate. It's not a physical item. It's an attribute, actually. So yes, if you have your spouse or your parent or someone you love in the room, you can look at them and you see your parent, but you actually feel the effects of the love, effects of the love that you have for them. So you can actually see love, but it's not a physical item. That's what I mean by eternal. And love is something that no one can destroy. For the simple fact, it's not a tangible item. No matter what you do to me, of course, you can make me angry, make me mad, trying to destroy the love that I have for you. But you can't do that. You can't destroy how I feel about you. Now, people try to do that. And when you really don't have true love, I would say, which that's a whole nother conversation, really. Any little thing somebody do can make you fall out of love with them, or make you hate them, or make you not love them anymore. But the question is, did you really love them in the first place, or was it just something else you're calling that? Was it lust, or was it infatuation? But if you truly love somebody, you're going to love them for the good and the bad. I mean, people don't take their vows seriously when they get married nowadays, because I know a lot of people, like traditionally, people's vows. You'll say that you take that person to be their lawfully wedded spouse through sickness and health, through death, till death do you part. Many people take those vows, and a vow is something people don't really take serious nowadays. And a vow is a promise. I promise to do this. I promise to love. And, there are situations, that happen, and, unfortunate situations that you just can't go through. But there's so many things nowadays that makes people, people are not willing to work things out. But for the most part, what people fall into calling love is not love anyways. So it's so much easier to fall out of something that you never had, if that makes sense. All I'm saying is that love, true love, is one of those eternal things that lets you know that there is a spiritual, because you can't see it with your natural eyes. You can see the effects of it. You can see what it does, but you can't actually see a physical, tangible thing. Like this plate. What does this plate do? What can this plate do besides sit here? It doesn't make me feel any kind of way. It's not a living thing. It's just here. As opposed to love, if you ever felt the effects of love, it gives you it takes on life, basically. It gives you a feeling in your life. And it goes back to now, people wanting to people selling out for money, basically, because people, think money can give them happiness. And it can to a certain degree until there's nothing left. Money can buy me a couple of cars, buy me a big old house, maybe even have a lot more friends around. But what happens when the money runs out? Then you have people standing on bridges, jumping off stuff. When you're going to debt, and you used to having everything that you wanted, and now you don't have it anymore. Now you're depressed. And so what you thought was happiness wasn't really happiness. It wasn't really peace. It was just a false peace, false happiness, because of the temporary items. Now this is my reference, a plate. Temporary items that you had that made you think that you were happy, that made you think that you were at peace, but it was all a facade. It was all false. And temporary things gives you false peace, and false hope. I'm going somewhere with this. I hope you out there can catch this and follow what I'm saying, because I'm really going somewhere with this. Temporary versus eternal. And nowadays a lot of people don't want to consider what's eternal, because it forces us to think beyond what we can see. So love is just an example of something that's eternal. I'll give you another. I just touched on the other one, which is peace. Peace is something that you cannot. Peace is something so much deeper than just not having war or not having any type of quarrel or disagreement or fight. Eternal peace and true peace, something that lasts throughout, is beyond the lack of conflict. You can be at peace in the middle of conflict. For an example, with the coronavirus, there's some people who are freaking out, very afraid. I mean, it is frightful, fearful. It's frightening to have your life threatened or have the possibility that you can die. I mean, it's taking out people faster than cancer and AIDS, like seriously. That's fearful, can be fearful. And so how is it that you can have peace in the middle of something like this? That's a type of peace that is not temporary. That's something that you don't have, that's not on the outside. It's something that's on the inside of you. And I'm not going to continue because I can talk all day about this, and I'm really just scratching the surface, kind of just hitting on some things just to let you know where I'm going. But I just want to share with you all, if anyone that's even still here at this point, that my channel is changing because there is a lot of things that I need to share, I have to share, that I have not even touched on, that I must share with. So I hope that you can, again, stay with me. I love you for watching. As always, I still love to eat. I will be, more than likely, it would be continue to be a mukbang channel. We'll see. I don't know. Taking it one day at a time. But I hope this talk makes up for all the videos where I just couldn't do anything but eat. But as you can see, there's a lot on my mind. I always think I'm thinking about a lot of things. And I haven't shared a lot of things is because I am a deep thinker. And, you know, I tend to lose some people. And some people may think it's completely foolishness and Looney Tune. I understand it. But it is what it is. This is what you get. This is who I am. And so there's more to come. Until later. Maybe I might as well finish this. With some rice hiding. I want to see what this is. A few people have asked me, am I standing up or am I sitting down? Because my plate always seems to be a little too high. But I'm sitting down and I use this to raise it up, to raise my food up so that it's in line with the camera. Okay. So, I'm going to get ready to end this video. For now, hope I can get you thinking a little bit. That's all I got today. Talk to you later. Love you and goodbye.